Agility ladders are excellent for improving foot speed, coordination, and overall quickness. They're also an effective way to work on SAQ training following a warm up. Start slow and only increase foot speed when the pattern is mastered. Some beginner drills for agility ladders are 1 foot forward, 2 feet going forward, 2 feet going lateral, and 1 foot in and 1 foot out going both forward and backward. Once basic agility ladder movements are established, it is okay to progress the athlete to more complex movements that challenge their neuromuscular control and central nervous system and their overall coordination. Examples of progressions that are shown are 2 foot forward, one back, the Icky shuffle, both forward and backward, lateral scissor hops, step overs, and step behind drills. It's important again that the athlete masters the correct pattern first and then works on increasing their speed. When you work with athletes in an agility ladder, it is imperative that you remind them of this over and over again, that they need to work at an appropriate speed for their skill level, not others who they're training with, but for themselves only. When doing SAQ training with a high school boys soccer team, there will be some training in the form of linear speed, but the bulk of the training will revolve around SAQ drills that change direction and implement acceleration and deceleration that mirror the demands of soccer. The lean fall sprint is great for learning how to fall into the correct angle and set your center of gravity to improve acceleration from a standing position. Feet should start with hip width apart and lean forward and fall, where if you don't step forward, you'll fall on your face. This creates forward momentum and the approximate angle required to accelerate effectively. The player should rise up on the balls of their feet and not bend at the waist. When driving out of the fall, they should move their knees and push off the ground with their legs to drive the body forward. Push-up starts are another linear speed drill that can help develop leg drive and start mechanics and improve hip power, balancing out lower body strength. Set up two cones 20 yards apart. Have the player lie down on their stomach at cone 1 with their hands in push-up position, and on the cue, they'll get up and sprint to the second cone. While sprinting, they should focus on staying as low as possible. The bulk of the drills will work on changing directions and implementing acceleration and deceleration that mirror the demands of soccer. As the season approaches, the program will shift from linear speed training to a more heavy emphasis on agility training, and this is done through changes in volumes of each type of training. The T-test is a drill where an athlete works on accelerating, decelerating, and changing direction at 90-degree angles. It's important that the athlete understands how to plant correctly while keeping their weight over their plant foot and understanding to plant and change direction at sharp angles to minimize transition time. The lateral cone shuffle works on lateral quickness. It's important that the athlete maintains their center of gravity, so do not let them reach for the cones with their foot. At the end of the movement, it's important that they turn and accelerate in a forward direction all in one motion. The shadow defending drill works on defending over short and long distances, and specifically the transitions between each, starting with a back pedal, moving to a step over, and finally a sprint over 20 yards. The Illinois drill is a great drill that relates to the demands of soccer. Players should lie down on their front and head at the start line. On go, they start and the athlete runs as quickly as possible through the course, constantly accelerating, decelerating, and changes direction without knocking the cones over and finish when the time is stopped. A great progression for this for a high school boys soccer team, once they've established how to do this, is to now add a ball to the movement to increase the demands of the activity and and make it more realistic for gameplay.